This week on Storytime at the Roo Bus, me and Sharla are back in the bus. We have some schedules to go over, and Sharla has a fun interview with some of our friends that are working on a van conversion just in time for Roo. Let's get going. Let's go, Ricky.
Welcome to Storytime at the Roo Bus, a weekly podcast about Bonnaroo and other festivals. I'm your host, Sharla.
What's up? I'm Daniel. I'm very happy to be done with all this work travel and do 2 episodes in a row up in here. It really feels like the time is drawing soon, you know?
Yes, absolutely. We're less than 2 months away.
Jeez, man. I have been taking that seriously. I have been out here cleaning up this place. I have been scrubbing the outside, starting to get things ready. Last time we talked about this, I was doing organization on the inside, just getting a lot of our stuff ready. But this past week, I've been outside with Brillo pads on this thing, scrubbing off all of the gunk. I found out that works better than the pressure washer. I don't think I told you about that.
You did.
Yeah.
Well, Brillo pads have always been great to clean stuff, but I have an update. We did buy a sink for inside of the bus, so that's going to be fun, getting that all ready and set. It's not something that we have to install plumbing for. It's actually a portable sink that you use for camping, so it's really cool. I'm very excited about that. You know, eventually I would like to build a sink in here, but that's long-term, long-term. I don't even know. It's so long-term, I don't even know if I'll have the bus for that long. So, yeah.
It's just a matter of how long this thing's going to last.
Right, exactly. I don't know if the bus has that many years left. Let's be very honest and transparent. So, I don't know if I want to make that many investments in it.
You know, I can really stretch this thing out if we want to. Because, going to Bonnaroo has been the longest trip for it in the past couple of years. In years past, we had driven it to a couple of different campsite locations. Mainly the park over in Rogersville. We had Taco go with us once.
Joe
over there.
Wheeler, yeah.
Yeah, he took his bus, and we went together over there. It's a nice little spot if you're in the area. We might take it over there this summer. I don't know. Things are always so busy for us. It's hard to commit to anything. But what I'm saying is, since we don't really drive this thing that much, it may have more miles in it than you think. We had the fuel line replaced. I've replaced the batteries. The brakes have seen better days. If we really wanted to lengthen the lifespan, I should get that fixed. But it's good enough for now. I know how to handle it.
Well, that mechanic we found a few years ago was amazing. I mean, I would highly recommend that place.
We had some new life breathed into this thing. So it may have longer than you think.
That's true.
I have thought about what we would do with it in the far future when that day does come. And I think I have told a lot of people, I probably would just donate it to Bonnaroo just to turn it into an art piece. But that is many years from now. We have a lot of life in this thing left.
Well, talking about different types of vehicles and camping and all that stuff, we have a really cool interview coming up in this episode with our Patreons, Chris and Chey. They have actually been building out a Ford Transit van. And they actually brought it to Bonnaroo last year. They had bought it earlier last year, and they brought it to Bonnaroo, but it wasn't built out. They just basically put a mattress in it. And this year, they've been building it out as a camper van, which is super, super awesome. And I really wanted to interview them because I think that's something that a lot of Bonnaroovians would be interested in. I know that's something that I think is super cool, that I've been just watching on the internet for years and years and years, people building out camper vans. So they tell us about how they got started on that, and they talk about just how the build is going so far. And Chey sent me some really cool pictures of it, so I really wanted to share that with you guys.
Yeah, those are cool. I have seen that become the trendy thing in the past couple of years. I've seen a lot of people take these Sprinter vans and convert it to something. I think Alex Honnold may have been the person that popularized it about 10 years ago.
You know, that was the first time that I think we got interested in it. We saw that little documentary on Alex Honnold, and he had one. Yeah, he had one, and we were like, "Oh, that's cool." And then we started looking it up, and then that may be how we got into buying an RV and just went down this whole road.
I have seen so many Sprinter van conversions in the past couple of years. I think a lot of people have gotten to the idea that that's the way to do kind of what we're doing in here on a little bit of a cheaper scale, because those big vans aren't that expensive. Doing the work is a little time consuming, as I'm sure they told you.
Now, a Sprinter van, Daniel, is something different. A Sprinter van is like a Mercedes.
Oh,
that's a specific type of van. That's like a Mercedes Sprinter.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yes, Now, a Sprinter van is, do you remember that time we were going through Ardmore, and we stopped at the RV place, and we looked at them, and that's those
okay.
I guess you could convert a Sprinter, but that's like those ones that we looked at that are about $200,000 or $300,000.
Yeah,
That's
is
like
not
those
cost-effective.
super fancy ones. But now what Chris and Chey are doing, they're converting it's called a Ford Transit Connect. And that's a super tiny little van.
All right. Well, let's let them explain it in your interview here in just a little bit. All right, Charla, before we get to that, there is something that I want to go through. Last week, the schedule dropped. It dropped the day that I went to Boston. We recorded that bit where I got there and we quickly dove through what we might want to see. But you and I did a little homework. We did one of these Clash Finders. I've loved these for years. I like how it puts it in a simple format that you can just click on everything that you want to see. So you can go ahead and print out your schedule. I got you to do this. I did one as well. We're going to take a look at what we, as of now, are planning to do. Now, should I go first or should you?
You go first.
All right. So on Friday, we're going to skip Thursday because we're all going to the same thing on Thursday. On Friday, I'm going to start out with Wolf Mother. That will be a little bit before we do our podcast, which I have confirmed. That is going to be at 4 p.m. on Friday.
So because this is in military time, when is 4 p.m.?
So 1400 is 2 p.m.
Okay.
I kind of like using that. I kind of don't think of it as military time. I think of it as international time. Did you notice that everybody was using those kind of times in Thailand when we were over there?
That's cool.
Yeah.
But I just say military time. That's what I know it as.
Okay.
But,
well, it comes out to 2:30 that Wolf Mother starts for that first show that I want to see on Friday. I am going to go see them for a little bit before we go start setting
so
up.
1600 is 4 p.m.
That's right.
Okay.
So the next one after that, well, after our podcast is over with, I do want to see all of the hype about Youngblood. So Shayna has been singing his praises, so I want to go see what it's all about. Actually, there's one before that. I'm just now remembering. I will totally go see Wet Leg at, let's see, so 1800 comes out to 6 p.m. Thank you, Clash Finder. So yes, I will go see Wet Leg first, then jump over to Youngblood. After a little bit of Youngblood, I'm going to jump over to that tent and go see Geese. We talked about this last week. I'm excited to see what they're all about. After that, I'm going to go over to the What and see Grizz, and then just camp out there for the Strokes. I would have been tempted to go see Hot and Mulligan, but that would be a trek to go back over there and then back to the What stage. So unfortunately, I think that won't work for me. After the Strokes, I'm going to go see about a half hour of Turnstile, and then jump over to Lil Jon after that. Now let's do this day by day. Let's go to your Friday. What does your Friday look like?
My Friday, I start with Goldie Boutelier. That is my girl. And then I go to, no, that's during the thing.
It's going to be okay. You'll be able to, I planned this out. You're going to be able to see her. I'll take care of the podcast so you can jump over there and be ready for that right after she's done.
No, wait, because the podcast, the times on here are... She starts at what is on here, 14:30. So that comes out to 2:30. She's done at 3:30. So you can run over to the house stage. So, no, wait, hang on.
Yes.
Does that mean that 1600...
Yes.
So like the chats right here starts at 4 o'clock.
That's roughly the time of our podcast, yes. So that does mean...
Okay, I got you. I got you. Okay.
You will be able to see the end of Blues Travel.
I have to apologize because I have never used Clash Finder
I had to
before.
get her on this. Yeah.
I'm familiar with it. I just personally have never used it before. All right, so I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So then I want to see at least a little bit of Blues Traveler, so I did mark them on there.
You will be able to, yes.
And then, yeah, I know. And and then Wet Leg.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe say a little bit of Youngblood. And then I'm going to go get some food. That's my food time.
Are you going to skip Grizz?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't have to see. We don't have to go to the same shows. And then the Strokes, of course. And then I'm going to be for real with y'all. Lil Jon might be my number one. Because I'm a millennial.
Turn Down for What live is going to fix me. I hope I do catch that in the second half of that show after Turnstile. I know that is going to be a party.
I've done some shit at some parties, man. To 369, damn, she's fine. You know, to the window, to the wall.
That song especially. Oh, wait, no, I don't remember if he is on Turn Down for What.
He is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So many people are featured on all these different songs. It's sometimes hard to keep up.
All right.
Anything late night on Friday?
No.
Yeah.
The bed.
The bed. Yeah, I think I'm going to turn in relatively early by Bonnaroo standards on Friday. Like, I might be interested in Ganja White Night, but I don't know. That'll be a day of situation. All right, let's jump to Saturday. Mine may start early that day at 1 p.m. I really like the stews. I've gotten into them on different playlists in the past couple of years. If I get up early enough, I'm going to go to that. I would be interested in seeing Trixie Mattel, if that works out.
You better be.
I am very interested. After that, it would theoretically be Tosh Totana on the What. And then one of the must-sees of the weekend for me is over at The Witch, just a little bit before 6 p.m., Emil and the Sniffers. I may just go see one song from Tosh on the What stage because I want to get in the pit for Emil and the Sniffers. I'm so pumped about that. After that, I'm going to go with the Alabama Shakes on the What over Passion Pit on this, as much as that hurts, but I got to see our former neighbors. Haven't seen them in years. I'm excited to see them back at it. Now, after that, if I make it in time, I would like to go see a bit of Rainbow Kitten Surprise, but this is something that I found is a bit of a conflict for me just in the past couple of days. I'm interested in going to see Boys Noise because I love what I have seen out of them working with 9 Inch Nails in recent days, especially out of this whole Coachella performance.
So that's the same thing?
Boys Noise is the DJ that's collaborating with Trent Reznor and crew.
Okay.
Yeah. So they got a lot of heat on them right now. So I've seen Rainbow Kitten like 2 or 3 times.
Because I saw that Coachella thing, but I was wondering if that was the same as this. Like, I don't know, keep up with stuff.
Same guy that's doing that. So I would presume there would be a couple of those 9 Inch Noise collab tracks. I would like to see that live since there's so much hype around that right now.
Okay.
So I may have to jump a little bit between which and the other, which
There's some
is doable.
conflicts right there for real.
Yeah, and I didn't even realize this until this week. After that, I'm going to go see the Kesha Super Jam. I'm sure everybody's eyeballs are going to explode with glitter. That's going to be fun. We'll see her for just a little bit. Then I'm going to go see Flip Turn, of course. And then right after that, we'll go camp out with Brooklyn because Rufus Du Sol is so important to her. But I'll probably duck out a little early. I've seen Inner Bloom live already. I'm going to go get a good spot for
Weird Al.
the Vicar of Dubley, Weird Al Yankovic. All right. That's what Skylar keeps telling me. I'm not even sure what that is a reference to.
Well, the Vicar of Dubley was a British TV show.
There's some.
When we went
I'm misremembering this probably.
When we
We can share that story.
No, yeah, we can.
Let's share it. Let's share it after we go through this. Okay.
No, I'll share it now.
All right, we're sharing it now.
When we went to London, it was like we played trivia in a British pub, and the question was, what sitcom starts with this? It's a song that's the lyrics are to Psalm 23, and I was the only person in the whole pub that knew it.
I was very proud of your work.
Yeah.
I think I'm misremembering my reference. There may be something else that he's called. Anyways, after he's done, if I am awake enough, I would be interested theoretically in going to see Snow Strippers. I've liked what I've heard from them.
Yeah.
A bit of Gorgon City and Closey and Big Gigantic. That could be a late night. I like this stuff on late night on Saturday. I've told people for years, pick a late night. Don't try to go all in on every late night. I think Saturday is the late night to pick this
People
year.
just make fun of you for saying that, but
Yeah,
you know, all
get to be our age.
all the
and then
people
you'll
that make fun of
understand.
you for saying that, now they old. So.
No, I think this year it's pretty clear that one late night is greater than the other, and it's Saturday. All right, let's look at your Saturday.
Okay. I will start my Saturday with Trixie Mattel.
Obviously.
Because if you ain't at Trixie Mattel, don't even go.
Why are you even here?
Yeah, what you doing, baby? What you doing with your life?
Now, you told me about Wyatt Flores last week. I
Yes.
did listen to some of that. It was pretty good.
Yes. He just came out with a new song that's really good. You know,
Yeah.
you can listen to it. All right, Wyatt Flores, so I'll just stay there. And then, I mean, I'm very much respect to Alabama Shakes. A lot of respect to them, but Passion Pit.
I have good memories of the time we did see Passion Pit.
Yeah, that's like, I can't really decide.
It's tough.
But also, Steve and Corey are dead.
We'll just have Steve and Corey come out to camp and just play a couple of their favorite tracks so you can have the same experience.
All right, and then I'm going to go see Rainbow Kitten Surprise because that might be like my number 2.
Yeah, I do like them.
Yeah.
I like that show we saw from them at the
Yeah, okay,
Orion a
yes.
while back.
And then Kesha, the Super Jam, because I would also like my eyeballs to be exploding with glitter. And I'll probably stay for the whole Kesha Super Jam because I want my butthole to explode with glitter.
Okay.
Yeah. And then maybe see a little bit of Flip Turn. And then I go to Rufus Du Sol. And then Weird Al. That's in my top 5. I mean, I've seen him a few times before, but if you, like, I promise y'all, if you ain't planning on going to Weird Al,
what are you
again,
doing?
don't even go.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be, like, each song is a whole different set. A whole different, like, setup, I mean.
Kind of like a stage show.
Yeah.
They do costume changes and have props and all kind of fun things. If you haven't seen Weird Al and his crew before, make plans to do that. Make it a priority. You'll thank us later. Let's jump to Sunday. So we talked about this a little last week while I was in Boston. I'm starting the day with Spacey Jane. I considered jumping from that to go see 100 Drums for a little bit, but I think I will stay for all of Spacey Jane. I've never seen them, and I'm pretty hyped on them. I will jump over to What, perhaps, to go see a minute of Trombone Shorty. There will be a bit of a conflict for me after that point. I'm interested in seeing Japanese Breakfast at which, but I'm also interested in seeing San Holo at the other about the same time. I am not usually big on going to the other before it gets dark, but I have liked San Holo for a long time, and I would like to see what they're up to live. Never seen them before. After that, Big Gigantic should be a good time. That'll be a sunset show on the other. That'll be fun. Maybe I can sneak a peek at the Tedeschi Trucks Band. I know Papa Josh would love it if I did. After that, there is another possible conflict because I love Daily Bread, but I do want to get a glimpse of Clips because I've learned recently that Travis Barker is drumming for them. So we may get him at Bonnaroo. I mean, we've seen Blink last fall, but it's always fun seeing a Travis Barker project. So I may do a little jumping around at that point. After that, it's going to be another tough call. I have decided to not worry about Modest Mouse because I've seen him 2 or 3 times before, but I will probably see a bit of LSZ and then go to Kesha at the Witch. And then after that, we'll go see Noah Kahan for a few songs before we head to camp. That's my plan.
Cool.
I'm sticking with it. There's a lot of in-the-moment decisions to be made once we get there. Often I will just go where the vibes take me, or if I run into a friend and it's like, come with me to this. I'm like, okay, let's go. That sounds great, you know?
Cool. Honestly, I don't have much on Sunday. Like, I when I actually looked at the Sunday schedule through Clash Finder, I was like, I got nothing. Like, I want to see Trombone Shorty, and then I marked Kesha because, like, what if I don't really see her at the Super Jam? I mean, it's going to be more Kesha than the Super Jam bringing out everybody, you know. So I guess Trombone Shorty and Kesha, and then I guess I'll just bum around on Sunday and then just walk around and see what I find.
May I make...
No. Well, yes. One sec.
May I make 2 suggestions?
One sec. But there's nobody that's like an absolute must-see on Sunday for me. So, yes, make your suggestions.
I have a couple of suggestions, actually. So I think you would like Buffalo Traffic Jam. I've listened to them, and it sounds like something that's up your alley.
What kind of music is that?
I would compare them a little bit to Camp.
Oh.
I think there's a bit of a similar sound there. A couple of other bands that I'm not thinking of right now, but that kind of vibe.
Okay.
I also...
Like old Camp or new Camp?
That's tough to say.
Okay.
That's tough to say. Maybe a little bit more older Camp.
Okay.
I also think that you might like the Tedeschi Trucks Band. It might be a little bit up your alley.
Okay.
And there is
I tried them once.
Yeah. There is a non-zero chance that you could be the Sally if you went to Role Model. I'm just saying. I mean, we can make some connections. That would be really funny. Yeah. But you got a couple of choices to make in that time frame. You know, I'm just saying. That might be one of those, like, you run into a friend and they're like, come with me. There's a bug. All right. Like your Sunday. But what I was saying is, like, at first I was like, man, there's a couple of conflicts on this. And the deeper I looked, there's even more conflicts on this, which drops me wild because this is going to be, like, a lower attended Roo. So there's not as much reason to break up the crowd as there would be on, like, a capacity year.
No, there still is. You don't want 50,000 people trying to go in a tent.
I know. It would be interesting to learn why they make those conflicts with that kind of crowd control factor in mind. I would like to learn more about why they make those specific decisions. And I would have some choice words for whoever made some of those very specific decisions. But anyways, those are our schedules. Any other thoughts on that?
It's somebody that went to school and got a degree in data science.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know.
Okay.
Making
Anyways,
that up.
let's go ahead and jump to this interview that you had the other day with Chris and Chey about
Chris and Chey.
Chris and Chey. Sorry, I mispronounce names sometimes. It's been a long week, y'all.
It's been a very long day.
Chris and
My eyes are
Chey.
probably red.
Let's go ahead and
Looking at
jump
screens
to
all day.
let's jump to that interview where her eyes were less red, and then we'll be right back.
Okay, hey everyone. We are here with Chris and Chey. They are longtime patrons of the Roo Bus podcast, so that means they get to support our Totem Scholars. So I wanted to talk with them this week specifically because they have been building out a van. And I know they brought it to Bonnaroo last year when it was just basically a shell of a van. And now they've really started the build and the build out. And I've been following along their journey, and it's just so super cool to see it, live in action. And I really wanted to talk with them about that because I know that's something that a lot of people in the festival community, are interested in. I know, I've been interested in that for forever now. So let's go ahead and get started and talk to Chris and Chey. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us where you're from.
Hi, I'm Chris.
I'm Chey.
We're both from Evansville, Indiana, so like southwest Indiana.
Okay, cool. So tell us about your Bonnaroo story, really, and how you got started going to Bonnaroo.
Well, I've been going since 2014. I think this year will be technically my 9th with all of the cancellations.
And
Well,
I started going in 2016. This is actually my 10-year anniversary. But I think this will be 8 with the cancellations and everything. But I just count it as 10 years.
right. Oh, I count them canceled years. I don't care. Like, I don't think I realized, Chey, that you had been going longer than Chris. I don't think I realized that. That's cool. Okay.
I've got him beat by 1.
So what's been some of your favorite Bonnaroo memories?
So my all-time favorite Bonnaroo memory is we met right before Bonnaroo in 2019, and we went together and we started dating at Bonnaroo. We were just friends going into it. We were kind of interested in each other, just in that getting to know each other state, and then the magic of Bonnaroo just brought us together, and we've been together since. And then fast forward to 2023. We got married at Bonnaroo. That's my all-time favorite Bonnaroo memory. I mean, hands down.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. You guys got married on the bus. I totally forgot about that.
It feels like yesterday, but also like 100 years ago, all at the same time.
Well, thank you guys so much for just being patrons of the podcast and supporting our scholars and just for everything you guys do so much. So you guys bought a van last year, a Ford Transit van. And tell us a little bit about that. So what made you buy a van? Like, were you interested in a camper van, or is it something you always wanted to do? Tell us the story about that.
Well, we kind of got to a point where neither of our cars were big enough, and we ended up spending a lot of money just on U-Hauls and rental cars over the years. And we were finally like, okay, we always wanted a van. We're spending all this money anyway, so let's just do it. And at this point, the older I get, the more I prioritize my comfort and my sleep. I am not built for tent camping anymore.
Same. That's really cool. So I know you guys brought it last year, and so you got the Ford Transit. What brought you to that? Did you look at other options for a van, or did you always want that one?
Oh, so yeah, we looked at pretty much any and every type of conversion van and cargo van that you could think of. We looked at old school ones, brand new ones. What we ended up landing on was a Ford Transit Connect. So it's a much smaller version than your typical cargo van. And a big reason for us getting that one was when we first met, she had a Ford Focus. Focus is basically the same thing as the Transit Connect, but it has the van in the back. So we were very familiar with it. She was comfortable with driving it. I've already done work on that type of vehicle, so it was familiar to us. And plus, it being a smaller van, it does really, really well on gas. And us wanting to road trip it and take it places, gas mileage was a big factor as well. But yeah, we looked at every van you can think of, and we ended up deciding the Transit Connect was the one we wanted.
That makes so much sense. Okay, especially with gas prices. Oh my gosh, it's supposed to be up like $6 or something this summer.
I'm
Absolutely.
so glad we got one that's more like 30 miles per gallon and not 10 like his work van is.
Oh yeah, I have a newer Chevy Express van. It's like one of the big boxy cargo.
yeah.
I drive that for work every day, and oh man, I put like $90 to $120 in that thing a week.
Jeez, that's crazy.
It's insane.
Our camper van is better on gas than my daily driver car is, so it's a huge perk.
Wow. Wow. That just blows my mind. Okay. Wow. So like the bus, it's like an 89 Ford B, and I think the last time we literally put gas in it was probably last Bonnaroo. Truly. But I can't this summer when we go to Bonnaroo, I don't even know, like it's gonna be like probably like $200 probably.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna be ridiculous. It's a diesel and it's
God.
Oh no.
crazy. But whatever, it'll be fine.
Worth
So
it.
y'all just slept in like the shell part of it last year, right? It didn't have anything in it. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, last year we brought it and we had a memory foam mattress that we had been using for a couple years before, just in our regular Bonnaroo campsite, and we just threw that in the back of it, in the flat bed part of it, and just slept in that. It definitely had its challenges, but we learned a lot, and I feel like a lot of that was necessary. It was a good experience to know what we needed to do to the van before we got it, ready to take out on a big adventure.
That's cool. So I really enjoyed like following along with what y'all have done on it so far. So kind of walk us through like the building and really what you have done so far on it.
Take that one.
Yeah. It's been a process. So we had to demo it out. We had to pull out the tracks and the floor and all the plastic pieces that was already in it. And then we had to just deep clean it and degrease everything before we could really do anything. One big thing we had to do last year when we slept in it with all the rain, we found quite a few leaks in the roof.
Oh.
So we had to pull down the roof rack, kind of rework that a little bit, reseal everything, and remount it before really we could do anything else. That was a major priority. But we got that knocked out. Now we've got the sound deadening done. We've got a lot of the insulation done. We got some of the wiring set up for lights and light switches, everything like that. We've got our subfloor in, and now we're working on building. We have a space in the front that was just kind of dead space before, so we're working on building little storage boxes for underneath our floor right now.
That's cool. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, that's really super cool. So our bus, when we bought it, it was already like built out mostly. I mean, it doesn't have plumbing or anything, but for the most part, it was built out. And we did like little things to it, like we put new tracks along the walls and stuff like that. But I see people that like totally gut out, vehicles and vans and whatever. I would not even know where to start. So just like something like you guys are doing and what I see people doing online, I would not even in a million years. I mean, I guess I would learn, but it would be like a 3-year process. Like I'd have to do
Definitely a process.
Well, exactly like you just said, Sharla, like you just learn as you go. We really didn't know where to start. I mean, I have a little experience tinkering with cars, like my own vehicles in the past, and doing small stuff here and there because I've always been a pretty like handy kind of guy. But we just kind of pick it up as we go. We'll have to YouTube a video here and there or look for a TikTok or something, but we end up finding someone else who's done something similar, or, we try to just go out there and look in the van community for resources. That's another community we've been starting to become a part of. They're a really awesome community. There's a lot of people doing a lot of traveling and a lot of really cool things with these micro campers.
That's cool. Okay. Yeah. all these communities out there are really, really good resources. There's like a van, van communities and schoolie communities out there. And if you can't figure out how to do something, I mean, you can look it up just about anywhere. Like when I took the table out of the bus, man, I looked it up and there were so many people showing how to do that and all kinds of stuff. Like it was, yeah, there's so much good stuff out there. And I know, like, I watched a documentary not even that long ago, and it was like about all these van lifers, and it was so cool. But there's like such a huge community out there, people doing stuff like that. It's so cool. So have you guys, like, what's the biggest challenge that you've ran into so far?
The biggest challenge has honestly been like measuring and getting stuff to fit right.
Yeah.
Like a lot of putting in like the subfloor and the base, what we've done so far, like you got to make sure things are nice and level and everything's like solid, because we're going to build a bed platform on top of that and put drawer storage underneath the bed platform, and all of that has to be good and square and level for us to have drawers that are going to slide and not jam on us, and a bed platform that's not going to be, hanging down and our neck's going to wake up and we're going to have a crink in our neck because we were sleeping at a 90-degree angle or something.
This one doesn't know how to cut a straight line.
We're learning. That's been a big thing. Like I said, I've been real handy, and she's been learning how to use a lot of tools and do a lot of things that she hasn't done before, and just grabbing a hold of it and trying to get her hands dirty and learn how to do it by doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes me very nervous using a lot of tools that I've never used before, and I've never really built anything before, but the only way I'll ever learn is to just do it.
Oh, yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she learned how to use a table saw this weekend.
terrifying. But I'm not scared anymore, so here we go.
She did good.
So what's the the total plans? Like once it's all done, what's the plan for it?
So one thing we want to do is we want to keep it very minimalist. We're not going to do we're not going to do like plumbing or like a bathroom or anything like that. Any type of like kitchen, all of that's going to be kind of outside. Our real goal or our mindset is to camp out of the van, not camp, not have a camp is the entirety of the van. We're thinking of it kind of like, how your traditional Bonnaroo or camping festival setup is 2 10x10s, and you have like one area to sleep and like put a tent and a cot or whatever, and then you have like a living room or a living space area. We're thinking of it as, our van is now that tent or that living space area. It's primarily just a bedroom for us, somewhere to sleep and like be nice and quiet and be temperature controlled and comfortable. And then everything else, like going to festivals or on hikes and stuff, we'll experience doing it outside of the van. So really it's just a place to recover and relax. But still to do wise, I know we've got the AC we've got to buy.
Yeah, we've got the roof fan we need to do. So.
Yep, we've got a vent fan we're going to put on top of it. We're going to do a small battery system in there. So that's what some of the pre-wiring for the electricity has been for. And then other than that, we're building a bed platform with storage. And then we'll have the bed and then a couple like cubbies and stuff to like, we'll be able to hang up our hydration packs whenever we... The cat took the computer. Oh my goodness.
That's so funny.
You're famous now.
He just had to get in the spotlight.
So for electricity, are you guys going to do solar panels or?
We're thinking about doing not necessarily top mounted solar panels, but foldable ones that we can take in and out. Because I don't want like the weight of the solar panels on top of it.
Oh yeah, it makes sense.
We could put solar panels, but one idea that I really have that I think's really cool is eventually I'm gonna build like a porch on top of the van. So we'll have like a little porch that we can sit like little rocking chairs on and an umbrella and sit up there and like watch people walk by at Bonnaroo and, you know, wave at everyone and people watch and just kind of hang out on the back porch vibes.
That'll be cool. So how will having the van, I mean, I guess you answered that, but how will having the van really enhance your Bonnaroo experience?
You want to take this one?
Sleep, sleep, and more sleep.
Yes. Oh, it's going to improve by 1,000. I guarantee it.
I love Bonnaroo and I love everything about it, but I require being well rested. And as I get older,
yes.
I need my 8 hours, and just being able to sleep somewhere quiet and cool and like really recover in the time that I have to recover, I think that will just make everything so much more enjoyable. So I have the energy to go do all the things I want to do.
It's that being able to sleep in the morning. You know?
Oh, yeah.
That's the big thing.
Yes.
No. Like we said, we did a lot of sound deadening and insulation. So like, we're hoping that this year when we go to sleep, we won't have to hear Purple Rain 6 times in a row at 3 o'clock in the morning. If you camped in group last year, you get.
See, that's what I need to do. That's what we need to do is sound the bus somehow.
I'll help.
Oh yeah, we could do it.
I can do that now. I can help.
Do you have any other travel plans for the bus? Or for the van?
Oh yeah, definitely. One thing that we really wanted the van for is Bonnaroo's kind of close to home for us. It's always been like our home festival. It only takes us about 2.5, maybe 3 hours to get there from southern Indiana. But the van now opens up the door for us to do a lot more camping festivals all over the country. You know, we can go to Florida or California or, you know, the East Coast, the West Coast, wherever we want to with this thing. So that's something that's been real big on our bucket list, is getting to experience more festivals other than Bonnaroo. And I know she really wants to take it to a bunch of national parks as well, like go hiking and go see a bunch of the nature preserves and things like that.
I think just not having to spend the money on a hotel makes so many more trips so much more doable.
Mm-hmm. And just being able to road trip across the country.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like when we've been out west a couple of times. I mean, the road trip truly is most of the fun. I mean, it really is. Like it's, oh my gosh, it's so much fun.
Oh, absolutely.
And when I get tired, I can just pull over and go to sleep and then wake back and start it again.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. So what advice would you guys give to someone who wants to start a camper van build, or they want to get into it?
Be patient. Anticipate that you're probably going to have to do something multiple times. You're not necessarily always going to get it right on your first try. I have had a lot of frustrations where I have spent my whole day building something and then I get it in and it's just not quite right and I have to start over or I have to make adjustments. So just be patient.
Absolutely, for sure. So one more question. Who are you guys looking forward to seeing at Bonnaroo this year?
Who's your top?
Who's my top? Honestly, this is probably not a popular answer, but I'm so excited for Turnover. I have loved them since like my early emo teenager days. Yes. And I never thought I would get to see them. So seeing them at Roo is just so special.
Yes. What about you, Chris?
There's a lot that I'm really into. I think one of the biggest one though for me is going to be Modest Mouse. I've been really into them for a really long time. Really? Like, I was thinking about it the other day, and Modest Mouse is like one of the first bands I can say I was a fan of. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
that'll be super special for me.
Oh yeah, they'll be great. Yeah, have you seen them before?
Yeah, I saw them forever ago. I was like 15, maybe 16 years old. So that's been a decade plus.
Yeah,
more.
I saw them probably about the same, probably about 10 years ago at some like local festival. That was really cool. Yeah. But thank you guys so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
I appreciate everything you guys do for Totem and for the Roo Bus podcast. And just thank you guys so much.
We love y'all.
we love you. Can't wait to volunteer at the booth this year and just can't wait to see everyone, and we're so excited.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, we will see you in June.
Less than 2 months.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. I am looking forward to seeing that ride for myself. That's something that I've been interested in. If we didn't have this thing, I think I would be interested in taking on a project like that.
Oh, definitely. And you know, something that we found just when we've been doing little stuff to the bus, if you learn how to do it, if you allow yourself to do it, it's not that hard. Like they said, it's just a matter of having patience and a matter of being willing to redo stuff.
Yeah. I can vouch. Sharla has done a great job with the projects that she's taken on in this thing. I'm interested to see how this sync is going to go. That's on you. That's your project.
With the things that I have done on the bus and our other little camper that we had, the biggest thing for us personally was having to buy tools because we did not own. I mean, we had basic like stuff for the house, but we didn't have like, you know, the saw cutter or whatever. We just didn't own tools.
It's funny that you have it and know how to use it, but don't know the technical name for it. The saw
The
cutter.
circular saw or whatever.
The saw cutter. Now that was in that one horror movie that there was like 18 sequels to. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and run through our Patreons. Do we have any totem updates? I do want to tell everybody, if you know of somebody that is coming to their first Roo and would like to sign up for our mentorship program, the deadline is approaching for that. We just put a thing on our Instagram today, the day that we're recording this. There was a link on Reddit about 2 weeks ago. I hear that the festival is going to be putting a promo out for us. So send that link out to any of your friends that are coming to their first one. We would like to help them out with a mentor and make sure that they are very successful and have a great time at their first Roo. We will have a Wook veteran show them the ropes, tell them everything they need to do, the things they shouldn't do, all those kind of tips that you can get from somebody that has been before.
I have an update. We actually have one more interview for the Totem scholarships. And the individuals that we have interviewed so far have been amazing, wonderful, and I have no idea how we're going to be able to decide.
You guys got a tough task ahead of you, and I don't envy it. So yeah, we should be introducing you to our 3 new scholarship winners sometime in the next 2 or 3 weeks, probably, I would assume. Yeah, so we'll have a little thing on the podcast. Hopefully we will introduce them. Anything else totem related? Like I said earlier, the podcast live is going to be at the House Stage at Planet Roo, 4 p.m. Friday. Please come out and see us if you don't have any conflicts at the time. And we do have a lot in store for the Totem booth in the Planet Roo area. We just had a meeting last night.
Do you have any announcements for the live podcast?
Yes and no. I can tell you that we have a celebrity co-host lined up for it. I am not going to tell you who it is. You have to be there. Our co-host is going to be there the entire time to liven up the thing. Many of you will know them. They have been on many TV shows that you will have known. They have been on tours that you would have known, and I don't want to say anything other than that. You just have to be there to see who it is, and I can tell you this person is going to be doing other programming out in Outeroo. I just had that confirmed. You will see some of that announced on the schedule before too long, and we do have another guest, a musical guest, hint hint, that will be showing up at the end of our podcast to play us a song or two as well. But you got to be there to find out who it is. I have told our Patreons, I have told a couple of our close friends, but that's all I'm going to tell. You got to be there if you want to find out. Is that the announcement you were teasing me to make?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yes, be there Friday, 4 p.m. Surprise guests, some other fun, and our Totem booth will be there. So come out and see us while you're at our podcast as well. Charles, let's run through these names. I've been through them recently.
Okay.
Let's run through it. Go for it.
All right. Jordan, Alyssa, Imani, Bradley, Jared, Olivia, Claire, John, Lexi, Danny, Lisa, Butter Crew, Nick, Delaney, John with Texas Roo Crew, Brady, I Am Rave Dad, Courtney, Casey with Texas Roo Crew, Christy, Jones, David and Aurora, String Bean, Sack and Jeremy, Amber, JB, Sam, Austin, James, Hygiene Queen, Chris and Chey, Dan, Ernst, Harris, Keith, Casey, Perry, Nick, Maddie, Bruce, Andrew, Kent, Randy, Papa Josh, Bosco, Eric and Ben, Evan, Chloe, and Sean.
Thank you to all of our Patreons. We are pulling in a little over $400 a month, and every cent goes to the Totem Foundation. That money is being well spent. It's about to be sent to all of our scholarship people for the year so they can get all of the supplies that they need. It's helping us with our totem booth. It's helping us with our overhead, so many things. So thank you all very, very, very much. You can find it at patreon.com/Roo Bus and learn more about Totem at totemfnd.org. This has been a great episode. We're going to top it off with a quick miniature tour of what's up in the bus as we're starting to get ready. Watch this. You want to see a magic trip?
Yeah, I do.
I'm going to clap my hands, and it's going to go forward in time to when one of us is giving you the tour. Here we go.
All right, we're going to get up from recording the podcast and give you a quick tour. So up here, we've got the entry to the bus, or the foyer, as we like to call it.
Do we?
We've got the camera up here from when it was the Coffee County Jail bus. You know, we guess we could take that out, but I think it's a pivotal point of the bus.
Keep it. I like
Yeah. So we've got the original bus seats right here. We've got the hippie table right here. And we've got the pink couch over here. We've got the new curtains that I installed last year. We've got the divider. So we can actually pull this too and just have air conditioning just in the back, which helps so much when it gets, in the 90s on the farm. We've got the twin beds right here. I'll probably take out this filing cabinet, which is what we've been using for a dresser, and probably get a new dresser because some of the drawers are broke on it. Right here is where I'm going to put the sink, probably. We've got the Talk to God phone booth stuff located in there. We're going to bring that back this year. Very excited for that. We've got all of our tapestries, our lights, everything going on. So pretty excited for Roo 2026.
All right. Thank you, Sharla. So as you can see, things are almost ready to go in here. We still have a lot of organizing to do. Sharla, we got some shopping to do for our food and such. We got to get your sink installed, but we're getting there. Like I said, I have gotten the outside pretty clean. We'll show you that in another episode. But the time is approaching. I hope you are doing a lot of the same things in your own way, getting your crew ready. We've got under 2 months to go. Get out there and radiate positivity. We'll see you next week.